Hello everybody and welcome back to East Origin and Watch Me Fly. That's right, tornadoes solve everything. Now to dispose of these nonjas and teleport back to a safe point. Gaining a level is also good. Okay, we are now ready to tackle the next part of the Guilty Fire. After I do this. Last episode, we beat up Father Xian. Which means, of course, that I have had to beat up a Xian that I didn't want to. Stupid Xeno Saga. Well, that didn't work at all. Yeah, they really expect you to use the Fire Tornado for any further jumps because of how it slows your falling speed when you use it while jumping. You know, like Hugo's air shield. Okay, light this torch while I'm up here. Drop down while I'm there. Yeah, Thunderclaw just ain't gonna cut it against some of the monsters we're going to be encountering soon. They give you the Fire Tornado and they expect you to use it. Boom. And there we go. Jump, jump. Oh, right, Toal is fast enough that he can clear gaps that others can't. You know, without the aid of skills or whatever. Yeah, no chance of really getting hung up here as Toal. I'm just too fast to get really caught. Right, the bad music. And we don't have a hammer or... Oh wait, we do have a harmonica. But I somehow doubt that Toal is anything approaching a music man. As far as playing instruments goes, at least. And for our troubles, we get the Ruby. We can now use the charged version of the Fire Tornado. Or, I guess, Inferno as the game wants to call it. I tend to call things by what they look like in the absence of other names. Okay, folks, it's time for the Devil's Corridor. Let's see what awaits us there as Toal. Apparently, Unica awaits us there. Nah, this game isn't about to kill off Unica. He gave it back. Okay, Devil's Corridor, we need to transform into Demon to bypass it. You know, I'm beginning to think there should be an East-flavored version of Goofus and Gallant or Melvin and Jenkins starring Toal and Hugo. Toal sometimes needs to urgently borrow other people's tools before he has time to ask them. Ha! Toal cannot harmonica. Let's see. Hugo destroys other people's sacred heirlooms in his mad quest for ultimate power. Toal understands and respects the utility and dangers of demonic energy, so he uses it carefully. Hugo will accept demonic energy at almost any provocation, and so will kill at least 3 friends before breakfast. Oh, why did I turn... Oh yeah, it ran out. Whoops, I did the wrong thing. Reload! Never fear, Rue, Toal is here. Okay, the Ring of Ease. It's basically the Ring of Peace of Mind of East 1 and 2. And does the same thing. It reduces your MP consumption for skills. We're going to be wearing this for a while. And warp back so we can refill our life and boost. Okay, the challenge here is to kill all of the red enemies before you run out of boost and die. Toal says a few things about using the Thunderclaw for this kind of work, but that's actually a pretty terrible idea. Because the Thunderclaw only does 1 damage a hit to these enemies. so there's really no worthwhile reason to ever use it in here. Inferno might work, but I didn't try it in this particular video. And we're going to eat some more Claria. By the way, you may have noticed the video timer by now, and there was apparently quite a bit more story stuff in this section of Toal's route than I had originally anticipated. I did capture all of it, of course, but you may want to sit in for a while. Spirit Cape, something which I have not actually used in this playthrough all that much. That Spirit Cape was much more useful to me in, say, East 2 than it ever really was in any of the Nepishtim Engine games. For one thing, I'm pretty sure it didn't even show up in Ark of Nepishtim, but I'll have to check my videos for that. But hey, the Thunderclaw is useful again. Boing, boing. Now, one of the problems that Toal has is that because he has to rush through the Devil's Corridor unlike everyone else, he misses out on a good bit of experience, which is going to impact some things I'm going to do later in this video. For now, though, navigating this room is pretty much completely the same. You just have Toal's amazing death powers to break your way through it. Okay, I accidentally hit the boost button there. Oops. I'm hard-pressed to think whose boost ability actually makes the biggest character changes between Toal and Hugo. Hugo's makes it so he can shoot anything everywhere, but Toal gives him an actual additional part to his melee combo, of all things, which can make him extremely more damaging even if the individual hits of his final flurry aren't particularly damaging. By the way, I think that extra 2,000 SP chest was to make up for something. You see, there's a boss in Toal's route that he doesn't actually fight. As in, there's a boss in that place normally, but there isn't when you're playing as Toal. So I think that box of SP was to make up for that. And there's more booze of Salsetta. If hit points are a measure of courage and vitality, have some liquid courage. It's actually interesting to me how basically regular turn-based JRPGs came about, because pretty much most of the ones that came out in the 80s and 90s and so on were still informed by the fact that the Japanese really, really liked wizardry. So there were a lot of things that sort of carried on from that, such as invisible random encounters that only cropped up when the game said they did, like not being able to see monsters until they were in front of you on the encounter screen and whatnot. Japanese action RPGs tended to, at least early on, be descendants of Hydlite and whatnot, as far as I can make out. In fact, the combat system used in Ys 1 and Ys 2 would actually be not too unfamiliar to people who had played Hydlite before. I think about RPGs like that right now because apparently, looking back on it in a fit of madness, I had originally thought that now that I have a proper computer, I thought that, you know, hey, maybe I could do a video playthrough of Final Fantasy VII like I did with Phantasy Star 4. And even though I'm nearing the end of this one, there are only like 7 videos left to go. I'm like, why did I ever think that was a good idea? It would have taken forever, and I probably would have abandoned it at the end, you know. Not because Final Fantasy VII is a bad game or whatnot, but just because of the sheer magnitude of a lot of these PlayStation RPGs. Xenogears was the only one of those that I ever actually finished on my own back in the day. And right now I still don't quite know how I originally had the patience for that. Games like Ys are more my speed nowadays because they tend not to overstay their welcome and whatnot. And hey, we've lit all of the torches. The chest is ours. Okay, we'll just crack this open. Get our medallion. Kill some flamethrower monsters in the lava fire with Inferno because they are weak to fire. I don't even know. Now I'm going to heal up, get some upgrades, and take stock of a couple of things, because this is about a level lower than I usually fight Galaldi at, so I was thinking about whether or not I should take him on right now as is. Just a couple of minor things. I'll just save. Or something. Okay, I decided to go for it, so this is me fighting Galaldi when I have no idea what's going to happen. Strap yourself in, it's gonna be a long one. Okay, Galaldi. Like with Hugo, Toal's normal attacks are the best weapon you have against him. His skills don't actually do really any more damage than his normal attacks, and his skills are dependent on MP anyway. And they don't have the super rapid fire ability of Unica's Lotus Blade. The thing is, at the level I chose to fight him at, there's no real guarantee that I'd be able to cut off his hand before he was able to pull back and whatnot. So while I did manage to succeed, I really should have gone for that extra level. This isn't the point where I realized that I should have gone for that extra level, though. Here things were going fine. Stick claws in head, wait for vomit, kill spawn, return to stabbing, you know, things were looking up. And then this started to happen. Yeah, I didn't want to stand in lava while I stabbed that thing, so I decided to let him hit me. This was not my best move. And then he punched me. I don't think I've been hit by one of Galaldi's punches in years, and, well, you people are getting it on camera. Yeah, speaking of earlier East bosses, since Galaldi is, of course, a remix, I still recommend East 1 and 2 as people's first East games, even though the combat system does seem to scare and confuse some people. Because it still feels like it's intended to be people's first East game, even though very, very many more have come out since the original was released, and East 1 and 2 have gone through so many different iterations so far. Back to what's actually being played, I'm not quite doing as well as I wish I was. Toal is not a bad character for fighting Galaldi. I just went after him with fewer levels than I was used to. There is a boss coming up whose name I will absolutely curse before this playthrough is over, but this is not it. Especially since Galaldi is now on his last legs. Assuming the existence of legs below that lava. You never know. Especially with this boss. And down he goes. Fight equals over. Oh, more talkie. Yep, it's her. Yeah, you can stop that right now, Toal. Oh. That's a pretty good guess. That is a good question. Yep, in this story, Hugo smashed the pipes with a hammer, I guess. I see. Yeah. While Toal is saying, "Ha ha ha, I am your adversary," Cadena is like, "Wait a minute, let's review here." Toal has told us all of the plans of his side, spared Galleon, Unica, Hugo, and Father Xian when he could have easily killed all of them, saved Unica's life, and gave back a magic sword of East that what his supposed side actually stole. So when he says, "I am your arch nemesis," there's not much there to believe. And I believe this is our last Toal flashback. Ah, yeah, Toal's gift. Wait a minute, Zalem? Hold on a second. Unless there's some weird Dread Pirate Roberts thing going on, Zalem was still alive and well by the time East 2 rolled around. So, that's it for this session of Ys Origin, and I will be seeing you all next time. Bye!